Hello everyone, Hyundi here. If you missed my channel announcement, you probably don't know that I'm moving away from Heroes of the Storm and into League of Legends. I want to share my transition and help others doing the same or thinking about it. Every week, for the next couple of weeks, I will be uploading my progress and the things I learned every week, based on and around what I know from Heroes of the Storm. But before we do that, we need to have an episode 0. Today, we will go over some of the things that you need to know before start playing, especially if you, like me, want to be competitive. These are the things that I researched before even going to my first match. Even though there's a lot of differences in game mechanics like camps, last hitting, buying items, champions, and more, I have always thought that those things are better learned along the way and through playing and researching at the same time. But one of the things you kind of need to know before going to your first match are what are you going to play? And that's the topic for today.
Slow down. Life is to be savored.
First, we will go over the difference in roles compared to Heroes of the Storm, and then what roles are better for beginners according to the community and the research I have done, what role I chose and the mindset behind choosing that role, and finally the champions that I will main for the time being. So what are the roles compared to Heroes of the Storm? A brief recap. In Heroes of the Storm, the roles are support, tank, flex, carry, and side laner, while in League you have support, mid lane, ADC, top lane, and jungle. If I were to describe the roles in League of Legends based on the roles in Heroes of the Storm, it will look something like this. Support champions are a combination of support, tanks, and flex. A support can be a bulky frontline with CC, like tanks, a damage champion with CC or engage, like a flex, or it can be purely a healer, like supports. Similarly to how tanks are played in Heroes of the Storm, one of the key responsibilities of the supports is to control vision around the map, no matter what champion they play. The supports are usually playing in the bottom lane, alongside the ADC, since they tend to be the most vulnerable champion in the team. But the supports have the freedom to rotate and go other places, either to help an ally create a gank opportunity or vision control, again, like tanks in Heroes of the Storm. Mid lane champions are very much the flex position in Heroes of the Storm. They can play a variety of champions, although traditional mages, they also play assassins and playmaking champions. Mid lane is also the most skill intensive lane, since it's the easiest lane to gank, but also the mid lane gets the minions before every other lane, which means the mid laner is able to clear the lane and then go somewhere else to get a gank or pressure. Mid laners are famous for being mechanically skilled in professional play, again very similar to HOTS. The ADC, which translate to attack damage champions, are basically in every other way the carry from HOTS. They are late game beasts, but very vulnerable. Though they are mostly auto attack champions, there are some exceptions. Do not underestimate the power of an ADC, or you will pay the price. They are way more explosive than carries in HOTS. Top lane champions are very much, if not exactly the same as side laners in Heroes of the Storm, but there is a main difference. Because of how lanes work in League, the top laner is not the one that goes around the map creating pressure or numerical advantages. Instead, that's the jungler's work. Top lane plays almost exactly the same as side laners play in Dragonshire or Braxis Holdout, very aware of the map, and most of the time only joins the team in the mid to late game. They are very focused on their 1v1 and winning their lane. Jungler is a very special champion. It's somewhat like the support of all the lanes, but most jungle champions resemble side lane-like champions. The jungler doesn't go to any particular lane, but instead gets experience and gold from PvE camps in the area between lanes, also known as jungle. Because of this, the jungler's work is to play with vision and generate pressure and gank opportunities. Because of not having a constant 1v1 with another champion, the jungler tends to be more aware of the map and is able to communicate information to the team. So what role is better for beginners? This is a very personal decision, and therefore the best role is the one you enjoy the most. But as far as my research is concerned, the best role for brand new players is support. Now, before all you support mains jump at me for saying this has nothing to do with supports being easier to play or anything like that. There are easy and hard to play champions on every single role. It has way more to do with priority learning. If you are a brand new to the game, the support takes away one of the hardest things to do when you're new, which is last hitting. That leaves you with more space to be focused on the map, the enemy champions, and your team's champions and their abilities. Because last hitting tends to be hard to adapt to and get used, it tends to make you either miss or tunnel focus, in which case you can't really pay attention to all of the other things going on. Supports don't have that issue. They look at the game in a wider perspective. Support also gives you the flexibility of playing a skill dependent or simpler champions, whatever suits you. And is also the most flexible role, as we mentioned before. This role is composed by 3 full roles from Heroes of the Storm. So if you're new to League and you don't know what to play, you can't go wrong with support. So after all of this, you might be guessing that I chose support as my main role, but you are guessing wrong. I did consider to go support, but I finally decided to play jungle. On Heroes of the Storm, I was a main side laner, but that is not the whole story. I was a main Dehaka player. To give you some context of my 774 uploaded Hero League games to Hotslogs, 221 of them are Dehaka games. And the one closest behind is Sonya, with barely over half that. Dehaka is not so much about being a lane bully, it's about creating pressure around the map and playing with vision with your trait, and knowing where to go all the time. By the nature of the hero, in order to play Dehaka you need to be able to have a lot of map awareness, and that is what I learned to do. I learned to gank and look at my minimap, playing with vision and recognizing where to strike, but also being supportive and closing the gaps where they appear. I fell in love with the Dehaka playstyle, and jungler is the role that resembles the most to it. Now hopefully you, like me, know what your role is gonna be, but there are many champions in every role. Now we're going into the most subjective part of the video. What I am about to tell you is the things that I look for in a champion. When I went online, a lot of people recommend playing all the champions on your role and then see what you like the most. And if you want to do that, go ahead. But before you leave, make sure to leave a like if this video was helpful and you enjoyed it. I'll also make sure to subscribe and to keep up with the series. So what do I look for in a champion? First, I have to like the visuals, the theme and the abilities. As someone who used to play MMOs, the champion needs to be a reflection of the things I like. Next, the champion needs to have some way of ground control outside of simply slows. What can I say? I like CC, I like to change CC, and I know CC can be frustrating to people, and that's why I enjoy it. Finally, it needs to have some kind of engage. I hate having to wait for the engage of others. But I also dislike being kited so much. This might be the Dehaka main speaking, but I think that the slow mechanic is the worst in MOBAs. It's also worth noting that when I'm choosing a main, I try to choose a champion that is mid-high tier, but stable. It can't be one of the older champions because those are the most likely to get reworked, and then I lose months of progress on practice. Taking all of this into consideration, I decided to go as a Kayn main with the Soul Hunter skin only. So far, I have really enjoyed this champion, his kit, and I think he will get me as far as I want to go. There are some champions on the I want to try out list, but Kayn is enough for now. Now, tomorrow I will be streaming my first League of Legends stream, and I'm very close to being able to play rank and very excited to do so. I really don't worry so much about being in the bottom, since I know I can improve over time. After all, I was hard stuck bronze in 2016. Hey, thank you for making it to the end of the video. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. Hit like if you enjoyed the video and dislike if you didn't. Here's another video from my channel. Follow me on social media and also my stream. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I hope to see you there. Bye.